that feeling of dragging your feet, needing some kind of caffeine to keep you going. Yeah, I get it.
Oh, I don't drink caffeine. Just
Oh, okay.
I haven't drank caffeine since college
Why would you suggest me to drink coffee then?
because everyone else does.
So let me be a fiend too.
Hey, I'm
Yeah,
naturally, I naturally got my energy.
yeah, you the pusher. That's what it is. You talk about boogie sugar all day, Tom.
Oh man,
All right, man. We in here, damn it.
yes, sir.
Let's start this up. As you can see, everyone, this is Media Marauders. Welcome back. This is Max, my boy Thomas, aka Mr. Rana, aka Editor in Chief, the one that holds this pillar up. Damn right. Thank you, sir. As you can see, we're a little short. Our two other men here, James and Mr. King, we're able to make it. James might pop up. Who knows? He is known to just bum rush, Debo this, and just come in when he wants to come in. So it could be a surprise for all that enjoy James just to pop up or James in general. So the fans of James, y'all just hold it down for a little longer. He might pop up. So with that, we'll start it off. Once again, Media Marauders try to bring whatever media that we come across within the past week. Last week, we talked a little bit about Summerfest, Geek Week, and a little bit of E3 that was presented at that time, I want to say. And as the week progressed, some more stuff from E3 popped up. And I think, well, not think, but we're going to really center around what happened with E3. They just, what, E3 just finished yesterday or Tuesday?
I think it just finished today.
Just finished, technically finished today.
Yeah, because there's still some stuff going on. Because
Little stragglers.
today was the extended game showcase by Xbox.
They just trying to milk whatever they can out
They
with
went
as
they
much as
deep
they can.
dive into some stuff, and like I think one of the what was it, Flight Simulator? They're like, yeah, and prepare for another deep dive on Sunday when they're going deeper. I was like, I thought this was a deep dive
The
from
deep on the deep dive.
y'all going deep,
That
but
sounds like a porn video. All right, cool. Why not? Yeah, I'm trying to get my energy up. I just said I was tired as fuck. All right, but yeah. So we're gonna really kind of go into the rest of E3, and I'll let you start off, Thomas. How did you? Well, yeah, you started off with E3.
all right. So E3, this was a different one.
Let the audience know what E3 is, just in case they don't know.
Well, E3 is Electronic Entertainment Expo. A lot of people think it's gaming. No, it's Electronic Entertainment Expo.
That's what the three.
And to the power of three.
There you
And
go, my man.
so, it used to be movies and stuff, but now it's mostly games.
Yeah.
But this is the Western Hemisphere's biggest game. Well, one of the Western Hemisphere's biggest game conventions, or was, or who knows? Because we've been in a pandemic since 2020, so we don't know what it's going to look like E3 2022 when they can actually start hosting these things in, well, if they can, in like bigger venues.
Exactly.
Yeah. So this is like it's the showing of what's going to be talked about from possibly the next year in game culture and entertainment culture.
There you go. Thank you, sir. All right. So with that, how do you want to start it off? Because we got the definition across now. To the ones that don't know, y'all should have an idea. You can look it up too while you're listening to us. So what is it about E3 that makes you come back every year, Thomas?
Oh, for me, I like that. I like knowing what's going on in the industry. I like knowing what people are working on. I like seeing what the labors of when they do this, the surprise announcements. I just like the pageantry around it. Like
Same.
it's just,
it's a culture. It's a culture.
It's a culture. It's like, like you see what people are working on, see some of the art pieces, some of the other things which are like, okay, that's cool. But and some stuff is just it's something, I don't know if it's necessary, but I know it's fun.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm right there, which I see what you're saying. I definitely see what you're saying. It's a moment to fan out, also be really invested into certain, especially particular studios that you're really into. And you kind of, there's always competition behind a lot because it's the big hitters. Well, at first at one point it was always Xbox and PlayStation going head to head. But now that Switch coming out with the Switch, or Nintendo coming out with the Switch, they're right back in the forefront, and PC games as well, of course. Like there's a lot of platforms now, competition, exclusive games. There's a lot of animosity there, but it's all in good fun if you do it the right way, of course. But E3 has always been a platform to enjoy, sit down, enjoy, and look forward ahead for the next potentially next year games or in the following year. There's a lot to come from there.
And then sometimes you get to see like even the new tech that's coming,
Yes.
which is a little bit one of the things I kind of felt a little bit felt like was lacking this year was any real like tech talk,
Yeah.
because like I'm trying to think, like I don't even think VR really had a showing this year.
Showcasing? Not really. I think I saw a couple stragglers here and there popping up, but nothing forefront. And I'm gonna be one of the ones that's gonna call it. I don't think VR is gonna really pop off, and I don't think even though it's been out for what 3 years now, 2 years.
Well, that's the thing.
I
I think it popped off. VR gaming is there, but it's like it's expensive. And while it's expensive, like think about it. If you wanted to get a PlayStation VR, you had to get a PlayStation, then you got to buy a VR unit, which is like buying a second PlayStation. If you wanted to get like an Oculus, like the good Oculus, where you could do all the other stuff, you're paying like for a high-end computer and then a high-end headset. So that's like maybe what $1,700 for gaming,
yeah.
which that might even be on the cheaper side. So it's just expensive right now. When they find a way to produce it at a good price, I feel like that's when it will be start moving because the gameplay is there for some games.
Yeah.
So
Okay. Well, VR. I hope you do well in the future, but I just don't see it still.
you
But
hate
all right, damn, ain't shit changed. It's still medium models Maximo, damn it. But all right. So what in your opinion, or what is it that you look forward to throughout this year's E3, or that you saw where you like this, like all that? Your opinion.
for me, I just wanted to see, like, I had a few things I kind of wanted to see show up, which I don't think any of them made an appearance.
Yeah.
But it's more so like, what's the announcements, what's coming out? Like, let me see, like, let me get some deep dives. Let me see what's dropping. Like I was really hoping, I don't know why, like Forspoken and Final Fantasy 16 were going to make an appearance, but I was like, Sony Ben said they weren't going to show up, so I was like, yeah, I played myself. I was like, I don't know why I was thinking I was going to show up.
You mean Square Enix, not Sony?
No, that's the thing. Sony, I think, has the marketing on both of those games.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because they both showed up in Sony like state of plays.
Oh well, shit. Well, yeah, Sony didn't even show up,
Yeah,
and I guess that makes sense that they only showed little clips when they finalized with the Square Enix conference.
yeah.
But it was. I'll let you finish.
Yeah, but I liked what I saw. I got surprised by certain things that made me like, ooh, I'm interested. Then again, I got to shout out to the indies because they held it down. Like I like how E3 is kind of going now, where I feel like indies are taking like that double A, single A space. Like they don't have the budgets or manpower, but they are putting out some games that I'm like, I would spend a good 40 hours, 50 hours in them, and yeah, it's just some things that there was one news conference that I don't really think
Did too
that
much.
that I should have cared about that I didn't.
Yeah.
And it was because they had Gungrave shown at one of the conferences, which I was like, I've been waiting. Yeah, and I've been waiting to find out what's going on with Gungrave, but that conference was boring.
Oh, damn.
Then again, it went back to the roots of what E3 originally is, which was a expo, like like a normal trade show. So I guess they were like, yeah, we're doing a trade show, right? I don't care what y'all doing. So.
Okay, so you saw more of an indie game like of spotlight this year.
Well, yeah, I feel if I want to talk about what I felt was the positive parts, I feel like the indies help keep this afloat this year because like they weren't what I was looking for, but they were a surprisingly good showing. So that's what got me. Like the indies were a surprisingly good showing.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't see too much of the indies to be completely honest with you. I missed some of the conferences. The some I had to watch, go back and watch, but the indies, none really, really. I think what was Solstice indie? No, that wasn't an indie game, was it?
I think that is an indie game. A
Okay,
lot of those
that
games that a lot of games that you probably saw that you were thinking they were maybe like double A, triple A, or just straight on indies. Like
okay.
indies, it's even though it's like like because I feel like a lot of times people think indie, they kind of think of like the pixel games and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah,
It's,
16-bit, 32-bit type game or 16-bit type games.
yeah, but like those are games like End of Eternity, which is going to be like a full out RPG, which is a full indie game.
Okay. Yeah,
So
that Solstice game kind of had a bit of a Bayonetta slash Dark Souls feel, only
yeah,
because the woman was a female. But I don't know. It looked a little indie to me, but it looked like the combat looked pretty spot on.
because that's like there was a good amount of what was it like? Because some of those games I remember they started off as indies, and I'm not 100% sure which ones I can't like off the top of my head think which ones they were. But then some started as indies and they got picked up by a publisher maybe after they did the heavy lifting.
Yeah.
And so then then the AAA publishers, they came in and they showed what they showed, which that was kind of interesting.
Yeah, we'll definitely get there. Oh, I mean, we're gonna get there now. All right.
Wait. So what did you like? What caught your attention?
That's where I kind of want to. You see, I'm not gonna front and beat around the bush. I did not enjoy this E3, other than what I found interesting. I did not. There wasn't much to take from this, other than the things I did enjoy. I felt a lot of things ran flat, especially from the AAA studios like Ubisoft, Square Enix, Bethesda. The big whomever are usually involved in E3. But I want to give them slack only because so much has been announced. I think so much has been announced in the past 2 months with some of these big title games. I want to say Scarlet Nexus is one. Like Bandai Namco came out pretty strong. I feel like around the beginning of this year, or at least back a month, week, 2 weeks ago. They came in pretty strong with Elden Ring, Tales of Arise, Scarlet Nexus, games that I was already looking forward to. So I knew in E3 there was going to be much to be said that stood out anyways from Bandai Namco. Square Enix, I was disappointed only because I was hoping more information about Final Fantasy 16 and Forsaken, but like you said, it's more ownership. It's a good chance. You said it's ownership by Sony,
It was not
so
ownership. I think they're just like they're partnered up with them. Like Sony's
the
putting
partner.
money
Okay.
probably into the marketing of it or something for the exclusivity.
And Sony has definitely been absent from E3 for the past two,
And
3 years
they
now.
said they weren't doing it.
Yeah,
They said they did not see an upside of doing E3.
and honestly, can you not after watching E3 and be like, yeah, it makes sense, Sony?
Well, yes and no, because it's like I feel like some of them, like even though you just said like you felt like there wasn't a lot for you, but there was a few ones that you saw.
Yeah,
I feel like that's what made it work, because even in like looking on like Twitter and stuff and see what people talked about, there was a good amount of different games people were talking about that they were banging with, and it was like surprisingly it was some overlaps in some games like Battlefields and whatnot, but there was a
yeah.
lot of like random games. I'm like, I didn't even see that one, and then someone else posted it up on Twitter. I'm like, let me go back and check that, and people were excited about a whole bunch of different games, like that one I showed you earlier tonight before we got on, Unbeatable,
Yeah.
and like I'm like that game. If that was at a normal E3 conference, I feel like that game would have not caught that same attention.
I hear you. I hear you on that. I don't know. I just like one other game that stood out to me was another well, which was an indie game, was that replaced trailer. I was gonna pull it up and see if I could try to share it.
Which
And
one?
you guys won't be able to hear anything, but
But no.
I don't I'm gonna see because you can't hear anything, right?
Oh no, I keep it set to mute so it doesn't. We don't have the overlapping sound, and then that could cause a few other
Okay,
issues
good.
on.
Yeah, because it's a quick commercial, but let me see if I could try to share my screen with you.
Oh no, I got it. Also, I don't get commercials, so
All right, cool, but Yeah, because this game stood out to me. There's one of the few indie games that really stood out to me. Replace it really gave me a Blade Runner, just a Blade Runner vibe, and I'm all for Blade Runner. Like anything Blade Runner or cyberpunkish type of aesthetic, and like the noir, neo noir type of look. That was a standout for me.
You see, I think it's when I saw that one, that's when I was like, you know what, y'all doing your thing over here. Like,
Because I think they announced this game like 2 years ago in E3.
see, I, I feel like they did, but I wasn't 100% sure. But when I saw it, like in this trailer, I was like, yo, this is something
This looks beautiful, man.
like it even made like maybe think about picking up an Xbox for it. I was like, yo, the way the art style that they're doing, which it looks like they're doing 3D, and then they're doing a filter over it, which could make
Yeah.
it even more something else. Because I'm like, yo, if this was just straight pixel art, I'm like, yo, top off, like hat off for them, because
Yeah, man.
I'm like, but it looks like a fun game. It looks like a fun concept, and that's why I was like, these indie games were out here like in full force, like they have something to prove. Even though I'm like, you're already doing the thing, but it's like that. Like, just look at it. But then the gameplay looked
Yeah.
like it was pretty cool too with the camera movements.
Oh,
That's I'm
look
like, yeah,
at it.
it's definitely a 3D. And like,
All this makes me think of Blade Runner.
and that's the thing. I like that cyberpunk aesthetic. I'm always a fan. If you throw cyberpunk on something, I'm a fan. Like
Yeah.
that's just that's what it is.
I'm curious enough to look into it, do some research, and really, God, this is the gameplay. Oh, I'm getting it.
See, that's what it looked like. It looked like that was the gameplay, and I'm like, I would bang with that.
Yeah, that in 2022, I'm ready for that, baby. I'm ready for that. That's one standout for me. That was one indie game that really stood out, and it made me hype, and it did a lot more than a lot of these AAA games, man. I'll go in. I'll talk about the games that stood out, and I'm gonna talk about the games that I'm gonna talk shit about. And I'm gonna start off with Ubisoft. One game from Ubisoft that really stood out was Far Cry 6. I've never been a Far Cry fan. I've only played, I think, three, and it was just something to pass the time because my brother was really into it. He left it at my house one time. I was like, F it, let me check it out. I, I just the first person free roam like open world thing never really. Dying Light didn't do much for me. I have Dying Light. My wife's really into zombie games or zombies in general, so she bought it for me so she could watch me play it. I lost my interest after the first week. I don't know what it is. The first person stuff never really appealed to me, other than Resident Evil, how Resident Evil is now formatting their games. That it just doesn't appeal to me too much. And the open world aesthetic is just so much. I don't know. It just didn't bother me. But this Far Cry 6, the trailers I've been seeing, the main character, I think her name is Daniela or Danielle. They call her D in the game. And you have your boy Esposito. Espos
He plays the dictator.
yeah, he's in the game. It's I think it's set in I want to assume it's somewhere in South America. I'm not going to assume which country, but I'm assuming it's down in South.
I think one John Carlo Juan Carlo. I think it's Giancarlo Esposito. But I remember when he was talking, he didn't mention Cuba and different dictators and stuff like that.
Okay, so this might potentially be in the Caribbeans.
Yes.
Wow, dope. That's actually pretty dope. But it looked nice. I think I want to go because I want to check this game out because of the story. It's I think what all Far Cry games have a different story for each one.
Yeah, because the last one was about a cult in like the Midwest.
Oh, okay. And the one before that was in somewhere in East Asia or something like that, right?
Yeah, like kind of a Thailand type setting.
All right. Okay.
Before that, I think it was like in Africa.
Yeah. I think the family was doing like a beach resort type of thing, and they got stuck. And,
like Ubisoft, they do their locations. Maybe once did I see someone actually get when they did an actual setting and someone got pissed off. I think it's when they did Peru for Ghost Recon Wildlands.
Okay.
Yeah, that I remember the president of the country got pissed off over that, which
Ooh.
I'm like, yo, but
can't make everybody happy.
It was a fun game.
Well, this game, Far Cry 6 is actually making me curious into the franchise seriously this time, and the presentation was good. Yeah, like I said, it's a female lead. She seems like a badass. You have like a little a dog in a wheel in a wheelchair or something like that, like for the legs to support. And you know he could be a part, or he or she could be a part of your crew or a part of your like weaponry, I guess.
Well, that's something that they've been doing. Like, get animals. This is the first time you get a wheelchair dog. You can get like
It's cute as fuck. I like it. I'm sorry. I really appreciated that. But they did a lot right in the trailer. They showed a little piece of how really Esposito. I want to. I forget his first name.
is it
But
Juan Carlo?
is it? No, I don't think it's Juan Carlo. I think it's his last name
John Carlo.
is John Carlo.
It's either John Carlo or Juan Carlo. That's not like I feel like it's more John Carlo because I'm like he's not Hispanic. But
No, he's not. His fault is yeah, John Carlo Esposito. You're right, John Carlo.
I keep wanting to say Juan, but I'm like it wouldn't be Juan. It wouldn't.
Yeah, his mother, I forgot what it was, but I think his father's French or
That or
something.
from like. Oh, we're going really off subject with this one.
Yeah, we really are. My bad. I just, some people you kind of want to know where they came, like who they are, what's their back. Italian and African American.
Yeah,
Yeah, so you kind of have an idea who John Carlo, like how his character is and how fucked up he could be, and the lengths he goes for what he wants. It's interesting. You kind of have a feeling like why is Danielle the main character? Why is she a part of this? Like what's going on? She's like some kind of bounty hunter or a mercenary or hire like a freelance whatever. So, and the weaponry looks like you could just pick something up from a junkyard and just put it together and kill.
Well, because this one's more about being a gorilla. That's why.
Okay,
like,
got it.
I think the last one you were like a CIA or FBI agent or something like that.
Oh, interesting.
Like I think one of them you were like just a tourist who got caught up in whatever was going on.
That's the one I played.
So that's where I'm like, it's this one though, it's more about being like that full on like the kind of like that Cuban gorilla.
Got it.
But
okay. Yeah, that was one of the ones that stood out. And I'm gonna talk about one that
Denmark. He's from Denmark.
Oh, Denmark. I'm gonna talk. The next game I'm gonna talk about is one that I was like, "What is it necessary?" Guardians of the Galaxy from Square Enix. Crystal Dynamics. It's Crystal Dynamics, right?
Yeah. No, all right. No, I think it's Eidos. Crystal Dynamics, Avengers.
Okay, yeah, and they did Tomb Raider as well. Why?
Why? Because
tell me why.
People are hype for it. I would pick it up.
Why? Like, all right, let me not do that. I am only interested because of the story. I'm not buying this game. I'm not gonna get this game. I'm not gonna even think about wanting this game. If it's on PS Plus for free, I'm not gonna get this game. No, I'm joking. I might get it. But one thing I am gonna say that I liked about it is some of the character design didn't really do too much for me. Some of the character voices were pretty spot on for me. Just go ahead.
And see, that's the thing I'm about to say. Like, that's where I was a little bit different. Like, I liked all the character designs besides Star-Lord.
I did not like Gamora's voice actor. Actor. I didn't like Gamora's voice actor.
And I think that's a hard one because even like when I remember playing Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, like I feel like it's just they have one of the same issues that Avengers had. Some of these MCU characters are like actors did such a good role with those characters. It's hard to hear.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, if they do the story right, it'll be you'll forget about it. Like that's what happened with me playing Avengers. Like the farther I played the game, the more I got into the story, the less I even thought about how the movie actor sounded.
Yeah, and I'll be 100% transparent. I was never into the Guardian Galaxy comic book. I didn't really get introduced to the Guardian Galaxy world until the movies. I knew about the Guardian Galaxy, about Peter Quill at least, and I knew a little bit of Gamora, but all the other characters I never knew anything. I didn't know anything about. Honestly, the only reason why I knew Peter Quill because him and Kitty Pryde at one point had a thing from each other in X-Men. That's about it.
That's the thing. The Guardian of the Galaxy were one of the least talked about comic books until that movie dropped.
Yeah, so it definitely put them on the map. But no, I'm interested in this story because I do like the whole family dynamic, the dysfunctional family dynamic they're really pushing for this game, or what Guardians of the Galaxy is known for. So the story, I'm invested. Like where they stopped in the trailer, I was okay. What's gonna happen next? I kind of want to see what's happening after this.
You see, my thing is, I feel like because I was like when they first showed the sizzle reel trailer, I was on board. Then they show that long gameplay. I feel like they picked a bad section for that long gameplay.
Oh, man.
Because that I was like that like the monsters were like you pick when you're fighting cube monsters. Like you show other monsters and different things in the gameplay footage in the video. Why would you pick that section unless that was the only section y'all had done? Which I can understand that.
I
But
don't like the fact that you can only play as Peter Quill and they only utilize his pistols and him directing orders. That's it. That's all they did with him.
He has other moves.
I hope so.
They showed it in the Nintendo Treehouse. They showed it again, and he was
Okay.
doing different moves. Like he was going in, but I I don't think that was ready for when that dropped.
That presentation.
Yeah.
It did not. That presentation was weak to me, bro. Like it, and they spent like almost 10 to 12 minutes showing all that.
You see, I would just say though, I think Square didn't do a good presentation.
Hell no.
And I think that's where like some of the issue is because I'm like, Guardian of the Galaxy. I'm like, yo, if that story hits anything like Avengers story hit, because that even though the Avengers story was like a short, maybe 10 hours, if that, which I think it was even shorter than that.
Not that bad.
That story hit. Like it felt like you were watching a movie. And then I'm like, yo, what they did with Spider-Man, the Marvel Spider-Man games, those stories hit. And then when I play Miles Morales, I'm like, none of the Marvel game stories have not hit. So I'm like, yo, and I think they've been getting, because Marvel's decided to they're licensing out the games, but I'm thinking like people are actually working with the comic book storytellers.
Yeah.
That you sold me already. Like,
and they presented that as well during the conference. They showed the comic books, the comic book artists and writers from past Guardian of the Galaxy stories or from every other comic book part of Marvel, and that's cool. Like I like it when you're trying to stay as true as you can to the source material. I've always appreciated that. I'll always go on that side of the spectrum of when it comes to video games. But it was just poor. It was poor. I like Rocket Raccoon really stood out, and Groot. Those are the only two that really stood out for me. And Drax. Those three are the only ones that stood out for me.
But that's things like I banged with all of them. It was just like that gameplay section that kind of almost moved me away from it. But everything else, I'm like, and the way Peter Quill's design, which I was like, I don't like his design.
Kind of look like a douche. Yeah.
It's like he just looks bland, and I'm like,
I mean,
I guess like
I was gonna say something, but my man, go ahead.
But I just wasn't. I'm like, yo, because like the detail they put in Rocket Raccoon's detail.
Yes,
they threw some detail in them.
Yes, they got the little. You saw the little beard. He had the little baby Groot on his beard. They put a lot of shit in his.
Yeah, like, even Gamora, even though Gamora's character reminded me of Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, but then
I think her character design is exactly from the comic book. I think she looks just like that in the comic book.
Yeah, and so it's like they had and even like I don't know her name because I don't really like the queen that they show when she came out the bag.
Oh hell something.
I'm like, bruh, that looked good. The only thing I'm wondering is how are they going to put this game on next gen and the Switch? Because I'm like, yo, because
they put it on the Switch too.
Yeah,
that's interesting. Well,
that's the thing. I think the Switch gameplay that they showed in the Treehouse was like the next gen gameplay.
Yeah, it's gonna be the next console that's coming out because they're coming out with Switch Plus or some shit like that.
Hopefully, because I'm like, yo, if y'all play it, I feel like that's gonna look like PlayStation 3 graphics. If they're gonna have to like drop every type of frame rate drop.
Frame rate.
Or no, because they have never mind. They do have a couple of games. They have like Red Dead Redemption, I think, on Switch. And I think it plays
go ahead.
With streaming or something like that. They do have games that run through streaming on the Switch or something different.
I mean, I've heard people complain about certain games not playing very well, performing well on the Switch, still to this day.
So it's like they have some options and whatnot.
But all right, so not to stay too long on Guardians of the Galaxy. So you felt like you're gonna give it a shot. You're gonna buy it first day buy.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I like to do first day buys, but it depends on what I'm playing at the time. But then like staying with that same showcase, I do want to jump to something else.
Okay.
That Strangers of Paradise did not show well at all.
Yeah, I mean, I
But
was kind of hype about it. But you gave us you played the demo. You because they said after that showcase they said a demo was coming out right after, right?
yeah, and the thing is, like I heard some people like
They could not play the game.
Talking like on Twitter. They said there's a good chance that it probably seemed like they wanted to go straight in with like because that trailer wasn't cut well. It was just like chaos this, chaos that, and people were like making memes out of it.
Yeah, shitting on it.
But then when I played the actual when I played the demo, well, the demo actually was broke the first day. They didn't get it like ready till like
the next day.
That evening, the next day. So when I went in and started playing that demo, I was like, this game is pretty fun. Like if you like Final Fantasy, you're going to probably enjoy this game. And like for me, I remember playing Final Fantasy 1. So I know the concept of what's going on in this world that it's taking place in.
You got a stamina bar? Like this is your gameplay?
Oh yeah, this is my gameplay. And it's like pretty much like playing Dark Souls and whatnot. But like the spot I'm at here, the game told me like, oh no, it's kind of too hard to go this way. And I'm supposed to take the door to the right. And I was like, nah, I figured out how to beat these bombs easy, which is like if you play Final Fantasy, hit the bombs with fire enough that they blow themselves up. So
got it.
Once you figure that out, it's like it's like a giant puzzle, and it's almost like playing a fighting game. And then like I saw people complaining online who played the demo saying, yo, this game is kind of too hard for a Final Fantasy player. I'm like, yo, this is like my first playthrough at this point. Like I'm maybe like I think I'm not even like 10 minutes in or something like that.
Yeah.
And I'm figuring it out. I'm like, yo, if you know Final Fantasy and this and that. Then again, I'm also a person who doesn't just play turn-based games either. But I don't really play those Neo games. I own them, but I haven't played Neo 1 past the first level. And I've never played even though I own Sekiro, I still haven't played that yet. So
yeah, this is if you enjoy this, you'll get into Sekiro. You'll be very frustrated, but you'll get into it.
Yeah, I'm thinking the only time I had a hard time was when I got to the boss. Yeah, I died a couple of times, but you're going.
Hey, it seems like it seems like a challenging game. They're trying to ante up the challenge, the difficulty.
So I'm like,
I don't mind that. All right, yeah, because the presentation, I'm not gonna shit on the presentation. I was like, okay, just they're giving this out to another studio. Like they're just it reminds me of DMC with Capcom that did with Ninja Theory, not Ninja Theory.
I think you're right. I think you had it right, Ninja Theory.
Ninja Theory, because this is which studio is this?
This is Koei Tecmo and who does Ninja Gaiden games?
That I thought. Did I say Ninja Theory?
See, that's the thing. Their names be messing me up.
Yeah, they got Ninja Theory and Ninja and other something whatever. But no, like it's kind of like the same thing what they did with Devil May Cry. They loaned it out to another studio, and they did what they were told to do with it.
And see, I think that's the thing too, because like in the trailer, you saw him walking around in the clothes he starts off in, which I wasn't in that outfit more than maybe like the 2 flights of stairs. That's like armor pieces, and then like you find out the armor kind of deals with the classes. And once I got my favorite class, I was happy. But I was like, yo, you throw Dragoon in there, you have me sold. But
yeah, because this is pretty much is a retelling of Final Fantasy 1, right? Origins, which is the whole Origins thing.
Because
I thought that's what they announced.
I think
Team Ninja. Team Ninja's doing this game, Final Fantasy Origins, the new one.
See, I think the thing is, I think it takes place in that same world, because that same world has been used multiple times. And like if you played Dissidia and you played it on the PSP, like Final Fantasy Dissidia takes place in the same world or parallel world to the world of Final Fantasy 1.
Yeah.
So I think this is going to be the same situation because they have Garland in it. And then like Chaos was in Dissidia. Chaos is in, I think the last game he was in Dissidia. So I'm guessing it's going to be the same Chaos from Final Fantasy 1 Dissidia, who started it all. But I'm like, then let me check something right quick.
Yeah, because the gameplay looked it looked like Final Fantasy 15 a little bit to me.
I mean, like, yeah, this is like, even at this part, I'm like getting in, like, I'm going through the, mess with the armor and stuff. And then I go a little bit further and I start looking, like, you see the skill trees that come up. See,
they got skill trees too?
Yeah, you get a skill tree where you can unlock different moves and classes and combos.
Did they announce a online play?
They haven't, because I think it's like I think it's like due out sometime next year or the year after. Was it 2022 or 2023?
But 22.
But like,
that's not that bad, man.
Yeah, see, and the thing is, like, the design, I think it was a little bit jarring because when I saw it, I was like, people were complaining about the design. The outfit, I was like, yo, if that's his outfit, I would have been mad. But then when I saw, like, he's switching outfits, I was like, all right, cool. Because I think, like, the main characters from the concept I've seen, they have modern clothes, which Final Fantasy 1 took place in medieval times. So I don't know what's going on while they're in.
That was weird.
And that's what threw me off a bit. But then there's also something with what was it? I lost my thought. Something. Oh yeah, it's the design that they use for the characters are the same designs they use for Neo, and like the art style for the faces, Neo and Dynasty Warriors. So I'm kind of used to the face looks.
And that kind of makes sense with Team Ninja. They wouldn't just hold one, because if we're going off from Neo 1 and 2, whenever you pick up gear, your gear changes with you. Like it's not like you put it in the screen and your main character won't have that exact same gear. So it makes sense that you get to be able to customize your gear, or at least upgrade your gear a certain way or have a certain look to you.
I was even just thinking like the characters on like the facial modeling and stuff like that.
Yeah,
that just reminds me of Team Ninja games, what the characters look like.
And Neo's people that haven't played Neo, like, you can't shit on the studio because people are trying to talk shit about Dissidia, like how they did Dissidia, or they talk their other games, Ninja Gaiden and Dead or Alive. Those games, they want to shit on them for that, but Neo 1 and 2 are good games.
I don't know why. I'm like, Dead or Alive does numbers.
Yeah,
the crazy amount of numbers when they even did that crazy
volleyball.
Well, I'm talking about the DLC they did for the one game. Was like, I'm like, yo, if you got all that DLC, you pay like $900 or something like that.
Oh my god!
Like they got that DLC in. Like, oh, you want your girl in a bikini?
It's honestly, it's just you got to admit, there's some Square Enix games. I mean, fans that are just angry. They want what they want. They wanted to see Forsaken. I'm sure they wanted to see Forsaken. They wanted to see Final Fantasy 16. What they got was Origins, a Dark Souls Final Fantasy.
And I think part of it too, though, was they wanted the design of like Kingdom Hearts.
Oh god!
I think that's what they expected. Kingdom Hearts are the game to look like a Final Fantasy 15 or 7 or something like that. And
what? All right. First of all, they say it's inspired by Dark Souls themes. Why the hell would it be a plucky, bright fucking game? All right,
I think you're talking about just design, because I think the characters were designed by Tetsuya Nomura.
Yeah, of course.
Which I didn't see that. I was like, I don't know what you did. Like, that's the thing. I don't know what he did, because these look like straight.
Oh, he made the designs for this game?
Yeah. Like, I didn't see it. I was like, I don't know what you did.
I don't see it either. Did he executive produced or consulted?
I think let me double check before. But I want to say,
once you get it, we'll move on to the next one.
Oh, just hop on the next one while I look this up right quick, because I'm thinking he did the character designs for this, even though it looks like a straight ninja Team Ninja game.
Yeah, the next game is under Square Enix too, and this is that Babylon Fall game. I don't know how to take this game. When I first saw this game, the gameplay really reminded me of Devil May Cry. And I'm a big Devil May Cry game. I love hack and slash. I like anything that's fast paced, like a Devil May Cry. But the way they present it, I know a lot of people are up in arms about the fact that it's co-op. Like, it's you play online for it. I forgot what it's called, like how they announced it. Let me see if I can try to find it.
Oh no, I think it's a live service game.
Yeah, I guess like the negative, like what's the negatives of that?
It's a game like Destiny.
Oh.
Yeah, see now. Oh, I understand that. Yeah.
I get it.
Okay, he's a creative producer. Tetsuya Nomura was a creative producer on.
Okay, so that just means that he greenlit certain things.
Yeah, I think people heard his name and they figured they were going to get his, which I can kind of see it, but in some of the designs, Like I could kind of see it, but
Eh, it looks like Team Ninja definitely just went for it.
like in his style of outfit, I could see it where he looks like a Team Ninja
Yeah,
rendering
but
character.
like you said, though, the first Final Fantasy was during medieval times, right?
Yes.
Why do they look like fucking models from 2013?
I feel like when the story when we get into the story, there's something going to be with dimension traveling. Because if it's anything like the Cydia, people ended up there somehow through a dimension portal between Chaos and the other. Well, I forgot the one of Light's name.
All right, well, I might check out the game. I might actually get it. I'll see. But Babylon Fall. All right. After you explained it, live action. You said it was live what?
It was a live service. Live service.
Live service gameplay, which means everyone just comes in, open party MMO RPG type of thing. Yeah, I was really hoping for a story driven game.
I think it's going to be. I'll let you know because I'm right now. I'm waiting to see if I get into the beta. But the PlayStation 4 or 5 beta isn't for. I think of maybe sometime in July or August. I think. So I
I,
couldn't.
I was really hoping for a new hack and slash kind of game because I like
Well,
the whole.
it's the gameplay is like it's made by Platinum.
Yeah, I saw. Yeah, and that's why I was really hype about it because the whole how some of the weapons or the swords are floating around. It really reminded me of Automata, near Automata. So I was really like hype about that. I just now it's kind of like, can I? I'll wait. I'll wait.
But you can play
Like
by yourself. I think some people didn't like the art style change that they went to because they
it
moved
looked
to a
weird.
watercolor. Because it has that a watercolor look to it. I don't think people were really too fond of it. They want to try something different, which I'm always up for people trying something different. Is it a day one buy for me? I don't know. Maybe
Nah.
once if I get into the beta and the beta clicks with me, I'll probably pick it up. If it doesn't, then it's gonna be like if anyone else picks it up, then I might pick it up.
Yeah, I really can't pinpoint the things I don't like about this game. I'm hopeful that they could do more because what the game's coming out this year or next year. I think it's coming out. I just, bro, I don't even know, man. It's just it impressed me with the gameplay when I first saw it, and now it's like they really dumbed down some things or something. I don't know. I can't explain it.
See, I think the gameplay is still there. I think it's just that look because the gameplay reminded me of Near Automata
Yeah,
and Metal Gear Rising and stuff like that. But
yeah, that's right. That's right. Metal Gear
I
Rising.
know I have faith the gameplay is going to be there. It's just when you get into that live service loot grind situation,
Uh,
it's like I'm hoping that it has a beginning to end story. That's all. And then if
they
I
gotta
feel like
branch
doing
out.
the what is it that comes with it, like that end game when you got to like get the best outfit situation. I feel like the game is coming soon because it was announced back in 2018.
Yeah, you're right. It was announced a while ago. I did just say it. I saw it for the first time. I don't know. I'm hoping it'll be better. I hope, well, not better, but I hope there's good things that come from it. Like maybe like they're trying to go for an episodic thing. Most people don't really like that. I mean, you could see Final Fantasy VII remake for that, but I think this could be a new avenue potentially, or something they could do new with the platforming of it. I don't know. I'm trying to find the silver lining here.
Well, see, they have it under as an all new action RPG co-op combat, but I think you can play by yourself. And if it's just like a game where you really all right, all I really need, if you tell me I can play from beginning to end, and that's like 60 hours,
Yeah,
and if I want to do the extra stuff, cool. Probably won't. But
me neither.
but I'm like that would have me more sold than actually if it's just no real story to it because give me the RPG, give me the action. I'm in.
If they could do I honestly would appreciate games that do it like how Bloodborne and Dark Souls and Demon Souls. Like when you want to play with another friend, you have to get a certain amount. You have to get a particular type of item. Like at least in Bloodborne, you have to get a particular type of item, a bell, to call other friends to you can play online with. And you have a certain amount of enemies. You'll get the experience from that. Certain loot, so certain things will drop that only you can see that your partner, whoever whomever you're playing with won't see. So things like that, I don't mind. If this game goes that route, I wouldn't mind that.
It's not, because I think part of it is the
Just a bunch,
co-opness to it.
so it's just a bunch of random people fighting around. You know, I don't know.
I think
what
you'll
it
be able
is.
to play by yourself if you want to.
I hope so.
And that's how I played Avengers, which I also want to jump on that real quick. Wakanda's coming in August. I'm excited.
Yes, Wakanda's coming. They did announce Black Panther gonna be announced. Like when's his release?
It's like August. I don't know the actual date. I know it's in August, and it looks like it's gonna be an actual full-on story expansion, which he did a pretty good job with taking the two Hawkeye stories and the main character, the main game story. I'm hoping, which I could be putting my expectations too high, but since they're calling it an expansion, I'm hoping the story is like, if anything, close to half the length that the main game story was, and I'd be set. I'd be set.
Okay.
Give me some single player stuff here and there.
Yeah.
Some multiplayer things. I know they're gonna have new monsters, new bad guys. They're bringing in Claw. You can be in Wakanda.
Oh,
I'm
that's
in.
right. Yeah, I mean, I'm still not sold on that. I mean, I'm glad that they finally got Black Panther in there. I know a lot of people have been waiting. I know that you're one of them, so I'm happy for y'all finally getting that expansion.
I think it's worth the not full price yet. I'm still not think it's worth the full price. I think like I used to say, like if you get it at like $10, $20, it'll be worth it at that price, because there's some crazy sales going on. Right now, I think it's if you could get it at half price, you can get your money's worth out of it. If you just play the single player stuff, if you're gonna play with friends, it's worth it. But at the same time, if you want to try it and you're like I know on PlayStation, I'm pretty sure maybe the same on Xbox. But if you want to try it now, I would say pick up Game or PlayStation Now, because it's up there. You could get it. You could try it out for like $9.99 a month, or if you haven't used PlayStation Now, you get a free trial. So that'd be just use it, download it, and you don't have to stream it. You could download it to your system and play it that way. And I think it'll be worth it. Like you'll give you that. Do you want to buy it, or if you want to buy PlayStation Now, and gives you that
option
to try it out, so you don't have to go fully invest in it like I did on day one.
All right. Well, shout out to Square Enix. Y'all did a job. y'all put out some stuff. I'm not gonna shit on everything. I know I said a few things of certain particular games that I saw that stood out to me in a good and bad way.
All of them, wasn't it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure, or at least the ones that mattered, I guess.
I think it was just those 4 games.
I think so.
All right. I think it was just, and then I just wasn't feeling the presentation. The games, I was feeling, not the presentation.
See if you can pull up this trailer while we talk about it a little bit. Redfall. I was a little impressed by Redfall by the animation, the little movie, little short movie that they gave, or trailer.
A lot of people were talking about that. Oh yeah. Yep.
Redfall. Yeah. I'm not too sure the gameplay for this. I'm assuming it's gonna be a first person. Or shit, I would be surprised if it's third, but that wouldn't be bad.
And see, this came from the Xbox Bethesda showcase, which they were hitting. They were hitting. I'm not even a big Xbox fan. I don't own an Xbox, but I'm like, made me think about it. It made me think about it.
I thought it was that game, Bad and Beyond or something like that. Good, Bad, and Beyond.
Was it Bad and Beyond or
Good, Bad, and I think it's Good, Bad, and Beyond.
Good versus Evil?
No, not Good versus Evil. It's I think it's called Good, Bad, and Beyond. It was an old game that was on the PlayStation and Xbox. I want to say
Beyond Good and Evil.
Beyond Good and Evil. Sorry, thank you. Because
that's Ubisoft.
Oh yeah, you're right. But the black woman in here, she reminded me so much of the character that was presented in the E3 trailer that like 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah.
So I thought it was that for a second.
I like to shout out to these artists out here making black women hair work.
Damn right. You see it?
His hair was working too. And she's from Deathloop. His hair is on point. Thank y'all.
That looks beautiful. She looks gorgeous.
Oh yeah.
So it's pretty much vampire hunters?
Yeah, it's like it looks like that or some supernatural stuff. I don't know if it's just vampires or because all the characters have special powers too, right?
No, I think only the black woman does.
No, she has magic. There's a dude who has the sniper has a special power.
Yeah, his eye was glowing.
Yeah, and I think he could go invisible. Someone can go invisible.
You're right. I think they all have a certain special ability, and then they have this little robot dog.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm thinking it looks like he's going to be the only character, so it seems like there's going to be somewhat of a actual there's going to be a storyline, obviously, but it's not going to be like how it is with Batman Fall, like anyone could just jump in.
Yeah, but I think that's the thing is like I think you can play it by yourself, but it's going to be like everyone can pick a character to use, kind of like what is it I'm thinking of?
Gears of War.
I never played Gears of War. I'm thinking like
yeah, this could be
that Gearbox game.
Oh, Borderlands.
Yeah, like Borderlands, where like
yeah,
you have your characters with their special abilities and whatnot.
Yeah, you're probably right. I'm not mad at that though. I was actually I enjoyed Borderlands 3 from what I played. So that's interesting that they're gonna go if they do that, they go that route. I'm not mad at all. I'll actually I don't know if this is gonna be a first day buy, but I would like to see more. I would like to see gameplay, not just a trailer.
Yeah, and plus I don't think this is coming out for a while because Bethesda got some good amount of games in the works right now.
Yeah, then don't they have another Fallout coming out? Or
you got they're doing something with Fallout 76. They're doing their expansion. They got Starfield.
Damn, it looks really good. It kind of makes me think of that game Dishonored, like the way it looks.
And that's the thing. So the people who make Dishonored are working on something else also. I think they're working on Deathloop. Yeah, they're the ones working on Deathloop.
Yeah, you're right.
Ghostwire Tokyo. They got a lot of games in development.
Yeah, they got some things happening. This looks good though. I'm looking forward to this. This is a little shout out one for me. Like I said, I don't know much still, but the presentation was interesting. It had me really pay attention to the TV when I was looking at it. All right, and my last one I'm gonna have to give, man. Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild 2. Please pull that up if you can, sir. This has been I've recently got on the I bought Breath of the Wild about almost 2 years ago. Played it once. I got into it. I felt like the open world aesthetic really made it jarring for me because I played a lot of Zelda games. It was an open world linear though. So but this one, like, you could really go anywhere with Breath of the Wild if no one's played. You're playing as Link, of course, and the world is just so vast, so much to do. Like literally, if you could see it, you could go to it, and it's amazing. The way it ended, it still left kind of open ended. So it was, I guess it didn't surprise a lot of people for 2 to be announced. I was fortunate enough to beat the game, and then I already knew that 2 was coming out, so there was no surprise for me there. But just there's so much, Nintendo fans or Zelda fans especially, they are already making up theories, man. I love the Zelda community, at least when it doesn't get toxic. I really appreciate the theories. Like this trailer is like what, a minute and 30 seconds?
I think so. It's a good minute.
They've already came up with like 50 theories of what's happening. Like they're thinking that there's a past and future and present thing going on. Like you might be playing, you might be playing as Ganondorf. Like, I don't know, man. This just looks amazing. Like right now it looks like they're branching out the world a bit more. So you're gonna be up in the sky. Like, look at that. What is that?
See, I heard when they talked about the Ganondorf thing, which I'm like, that would be a break from Zelda tradition big time.
Yes.
The first time you didn't play as a Link.
And also Zelda, they're saying that there could be a chance that you could be playing as Zelda.
I think people want that for reasons, but
yeah,
I don't really care for that. I'm like, yo.
But I wouldn't be mad. Like at first I was like, I wouldn't want him to play as Ganondorf. He's always a big baddie. Like, don't try to. I don't know. I see what they're saying. I don't know.
That's the thing. I don't want to play as Zelda. I don't want to play as Ganondorf. If I play as Zelda game, I want to play as Link.
Yeah. And I guess that's not as progressive, but it's just rather. And they're aiming for a 2022 release. That doesn't mean that it will come out that year, but hopefully. I know there was a couple delays with the first Breath of the Wild, and it could potentially happen with the sequel. But I'm very much excited for this game.
See, that's the thing. That whole Zelda game is so. Zelda timeline is crazy.
Hell yeah!
I think this takes place in the dark timeline.
Yeah, I think this is when Link dies.
Yeah, or something like
the adult time. I think this is the adult timeline.
Yeah, so it was like, there's the good one. He was around. He stayed around to save the world, and then when he was not around,
and they brought him. When he wasn't around because of Majora's Mask.
Yeah, so
and
That's why.
he missed the 100-year war, or he missed one of the wars, or while the war was happening, he missed a lot of that. So he had to get a crash course, hurry up, and then he died uh, as a nobody, pretty much, in Twilight Princess.
And then there's like what is it? Then you also have the prequel to Breath of the Wild, which is Hyrule Warriors: Age of Calamity.
Yeah, I still have to play that game. I do want to get that because I think there's a 1 and a 2 for that as well.
Nah, they're doing
It's
expansions.
just one.
They're
Okay, they're
expanding
just
the
doing
story.
expansions.
So I don't think this game is dropping before they finish their expansions for Age of Calamity.
Calamity. Yeah, it seems like they're really staying true to the storyline to it too. Like
Yeah,
they're really incorporating it.
yeah, because they have some they're touching some. I think the director, I think he's working on both of them or something like that, or he's
Okay.
overseeing it to make sure they don't go too far off the path.
Well, I'm the storyline already was good. Was already it's a typical Zelda game, but the way it's presented, the things you can do, it's so much better than. And I'm not gonna. I still think Ocarina of Time is number one, only because nostalgia holds it there. But Breath of the Wild is a very much a second place for me, for the one of the best Zelda game. Second place.
I can see it. I can see it.
Breath of the Wild is I still got the expansion for Breath of the Wild, and I haven't even played it yet because I've been so busy with Strive and
Is it slacking?
damn, for the replicant and Devil May Cry 3. I'm playing that again. So I'm jumping around, bro. But Breath of the Wild is, if you haven't played, please do. If you have a Switch, you've been on the fence, or you've been letting it collect dust like I did. I did not give this game the justice it deserved the first time I played. I'm very disappointed in myself. I talked about it before on the channel, and it's something to experience. It's something you can really sit down and experience.
It's one of those games I want to play it, but
Switch. Yeah,
I was
I
gonna
know.
buy a Switch, but I was like, when people start making those rumors about a new Switch, I was like, you know what? That'll be my luck.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna play until a new Switch drops now, and
yeah.
how
The
long
Switch
that
Pro.
takes.
The Switch Pro they're talking about with more capability, more heightened graphics, 60 FPS on games. So you might as well wait a little bit longer to
I
make
was,
to
I was
see.
saying, I was ready to pull the trigger at the beginning of the pandemic, but I couldn't
And
find a Switch then.
oh, and let me not forget, Shin Megami Tensei 5.
Yeah.
That shit, I'm interested in that. I've never played
I
any of
don't.
this Shin Megami.
I want to play it, but I don't know why they're putting it on Switch.
I'm gonna check it out. It might come out for PC. No, it's not. It's Nintendo. They're not gonna do that. But no, actually, Shin Megami is Atlas, so they
Atlas,
could.
Sega.
Yeah, they could.
That
Definitely.
again, I don't know why they put it on Switch. I'm like,
They might branch out. I mean, they just recently said Hades is coming out for the
there's a
PlayStation.
whole bunch of them that like the only Shin Megami Tensei game that I think that's really,
Medium's coming to PS5 too.
but I think the only Shin
PS4,
Megami
PS5.
Tensei game that's not on Nintendo is the one that they released on PlayStation 5 already. The one with Dante in them.
Yeah. Nocturne.
Like
Shin
4
Megami
has
Tensei
been on the
3.
DS and it stayed there. And
Yeah, that was 4 that stayed on the DS.
yeah, I think like 2 might have been like Nintendo or something like that. Like I think most of them besides that one for 3 have been on Nintendo.
Don't downplay just because you can't play it right now.
No, I could play if I wanted to. I'm just not buying it. But the thing is, like, I want to buy a Switch for Advance Wars. That's about it.
Yeah, there's I was Nintendo didn't disappoint too much. I was really hoping for a Bayonetta 3. I'm sure a lot of people were. I still got to play Bayonetta 2. I still haven't. I've only played the first one. I enjoyed that immensely. Hideki Kamiya, he's a great game director. So he's the one that created the first Devil May Cry. So I'm and Beautiful Joe, a great incredible game as well. I would love a Beautiful Joe remaster. They made 2 games. I don't understand how they haven't announced anything for that yet.
They brought back Okami. Y'all can bring back.
Oh, and that I still gotta beat that game too. Jesus.
Yes, you suck at games.
Yeah, man. It's just I'm just bad at staying consistent. When I get a game, like I get transfixed and I forget something entirely. Strive, Guilty Gear Strive for the ones. That's gonna be a quick Lucy. Incredible game. One of the best fighting games I ever played in my life. And I'm trying to be number 1 Giovanna. Which I don't see happening anywhere in the near future. But hey, or probably at all. But Shout out to the number one Giovanni coming for your neck. Um, nah, man. Yeah, I think that's a wrap. Unless you have anything else, man.
Yeah, number one game that dropped that caught my attention. Which, if anyone knows me, like if you know me personally, in like video game wise, you know I am a Suikoden fan. Or how they call it,
Oh yes.
Eiyuden Chronicles. When I was like, I want this. Like,
Is this a whole new IP?
it's a whole new IP because pretty much everyone who made good games for Konami doesn't work there anymore. So I don't know what's going like where they want to make pachinko machines. So they all pretty much left. Like, Iga, can't remember this guy's name, but I played a lot of his games.
This looks really good.
Oh,
I remember I was watching it. I think we were watching it at the same time. You saw Black Dude with the sword?
yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's the thing though. Like they're doing 100 characters like they did with Suikoden. Like Suikoden had 108 characters.
Oh, and they can end up dying too.
That's the thing, man.
Some of a bitch.
And you got the wars going. I like, remember my favorite bad guy comes from the Suikoden series. So I'm like, I want to see what they're gonna do with it. And I'm an old school RPG fan.
Oh, damn right. I'm trying to save every 100. If one of my guys die, I'm starting the game. You
gotta let it ride for that first time. You gotta let it ride for that first time.
Nah, I'm not. This is not Game of Thrones. If I have a chance to make them survive, I'm going for it. But they're not bringing this out till 2023.
I know, and they got another game that they announced, which is
this right here,
kind of like what's gonna be about the character is gonna be kind of like Odin's
Chronicle,
right? That comes out next year. I'm like.
And that's coming out. Is that coming out for the PS4 and 5?
I know the main one's coming out for PS4 or PS5. I think they both are, but I think because it was a Kickstarter game originally.
Oh my god, I look good.
So I think they're going to be doing they kickstarted it. So I know they're doing all the systems, but I think Xbox is going to be on the marketing. So that means if you have Xbox, you get to get it day one on Game Pass.
Well, I got the Game Pass still. I'm paying $15 for the bitch. Shit.
Why don't you pay for the whole year so you don't have to worry about it?
I totally forgot all about it, so now they're taking $15 every month. I could change it, but I haven't played a Game Pass game in a while because I got them on a laptop, and I still gotta get a bigger SSD card and a RAM stick too. I need more. That shit's expensive, man.
Don't the 15 come with the X Cloud or something like that, so you can even play it on your phone? Which, if you play an RPG. You can play it on your phone, stream on your TV.
I really could do that. I don't know. I feel more comfortable with the control in my hand though. So
that's the thing. You could attach your controller to your
true Bluetooth it.
Yep.
Bluetooth it. I could do it on my tablet.
See?
See?
You sitting there letting money hit the floor?
I might. Yeah. But all right, man. We covered. I think we covered a lot, and our opinions definitely made it more vast than it was initially supposed to be. But we tend to lose ourselves, man. Even when it's just us two, we tend to just keep going.
I'm saying there was a lot of good games. There were just enough games for everyone.
Yes,
I think that was a hard thing. Some games are really, aimed at certain people, where other ones are like we both look at them like, I don't know who won't like that, but someone would.
Yeah, like the Ace Attorney games for Nintendo.
I'm surprised you don't like those.
I haven't tried Ace Attorney. It seems like something I would be into because I like the whole crime and punishment type of aesthetic, or just that kind of gameplay. But I don't know. That's something I'm into right now. But yeah, I believe it. You're right.
I'm saying I'm like Elden Ring Project.
Ooh, we talked about it last time, but like
the Halo Infinite stuff. I looked at that only. I looked even the fact that I'm not even a Halo fan, but the fact that they're dropping the Halo Infinite multiplayer for free,
that's not bad.
Yo, that's money. Starfield.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
I'm like trying to do some. What was it? Solstice or something?
Solstice.
That looked interesting.
I'm waiting for more for that. I think that's gonna be a Steam. That's gonna be a PC game too, a Steam game.
There's just a whole bunch. There was a whole bunch to keep your eye on.
Yeah,
there wasn't a lot of AAAs. There was games like Riders Republic, which I'm still thinking about trying that out. Not sure yet.
There's a lot of little indie games or just games that aren't really hyped over right now or won't be. Like I said, Replace was the only indie game that really stood out to me, and Solstice. Those are the two that really stood out to me.
I feel like there was just a lot of them. Oh, and I'm not even like a big Forza fan. Actually, I've never played Forza, but that new Forza game.
Can't,
I'm telling
can't,
you,
I
I'm
can't.
thinking about picking up an Xbox.
I can't. I'm sorry. I can't. I mean, I'm not nothing against racing games. I used to play them a lot with my little brother. He was the only reason why I played racing games. But
For me, I want to say it's the technology behind it, like that and Flight Simulator, like the fact that they took the time to map out like a good chunk of Mexico, like where if you go down to Mexico and you drive certain places, you'll be able to see a mural on a wall that's actually there. I'm
huh?
like, the fact that they took that, I'm like, I kind of want to experience this.
No, I'm not interested in
And
that, honestly.
just one more game which I'm pretty sure there's another game with the same name or similar name, indie, before we drop it off, that caught my attention that I want to try out, which is just up my alley of games I'd play.
Yeah.
It's like one of them old school samurai Kurosawa type
Other
movie type
game.
games.
This is looks
And
like another Ghost of Tsushima.
but I think it's a side scroller. And there's another one that has the
Oh.
same name. The name is pretty same, close, but it's about a cyborg ninja, which
Oh shit! So it stays like that the whole time?
I believe so.
Oh. Okay.
So I'm
Oh damn.
like this is my like I was looking earlier. I'm telling you, these indies were hitting. The indies were putting in like if you go back and you just look at some of the indie games that are up
I
there and
might
just
have to.
trailers, like they put some work out there.
What's this one called? Trek to Yomi.
Yeah.
Trek to Yomi. 2020. Okay. Devolver. I've heard of that studio before.
Oh
Okay,
yeah, they
Xbox.
always do some. They like if you get a chance to watch their E3 showcases, which I didn't watch theirs this year because I was at work when it was on. It gets wild. Like I think one of them they killed pretty much everyone on the E3 show, which was it's
Damn.
out there. They have some dark humor to it.
Well, shout out to that.
The Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5.
Okay.
They
All right,
good.
bet. All right then. All right, man. What do you say? You think you're ready to wrap it up?
Yeah, we could rap there, you know.
Moneybag Yo Yomi. Okay.
I don't know. But
Hmm.
like there was another one, but I'm not gonna be able to find it right now. It's like blind Yomi or something like that. Which I'll probably find out later and pop it in the group chat or something.
That's cool. I'll look at it. But all right, man. I say we're good, man. Let's wrap this baby up. Thank you once again, Thomas, man, Mr. Editor in Chief, Mr. Random for showing up. To shout out to King and James that couldn't make it today, but once again, we keep it rolling regardless. You know what I mean? So for the subscribers and the last time watchers, new whatever, like this is what we do. This is what we enjoy. So leave a comment down below. Let us know what you think. What we should do more. You can check us out on all our social media platforms. You know how it is. So. On that note, y'all have a great night. Please click like and subscribe. Don't forget that bell on the side of all Media Marauders content. This is Max and Mr. Thomas.
Keep gaming.
Yes, sir. Check us out on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. So, other than that, man, y'all have a safe night. Y'all take it easy. Have a great weekend. See y'all next week. Be easy. Peace.